You all can
Alright.
be heard now.
Then welcome back everyone to
Huzzah!
the next session of Here Be Dragons. Who is giving us a recap, and why is there a giant H on my map?
It's not an H. In fact, I don't want to say what it looks
Anymore,
like.
it's not.
That's clearly
It looks
the
like it
word
was,
high.
for a second, it looked like it was about to turn into loss.
I would have thrown something.
Oh dear
Anyway.
Jesus. Okay. Roofer, do you want to give the recap, or do I want to give the recap?
I don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
So, the group all made up. Person comes, given some information on the aberrant scale. Told that the Thousand Fang are kind of not too much of a problem. So we all finalize our on the deck. A little resident silly Billy, a little goof. Lessla goes to have Salanora removed from herself, and you know it all seems going well. And then she has her soul ripped out and almost sundered, but it's a normal Tuesday. But it seems to have had an effect where something got brought out. Something by the name of Scalanok, able to stop Lessla from being destroyed completely and utterly. Lessla wakes up. Ritual is otherwise successful. Lessla decides, alright, while everyone's worried and tensions are high, let's go tell everyone what just happened. Try to somewhat, not comfort, but just so to make sure Lessla and everyone else is okay. Cheese loses her temper. Corvus then immediately seeing this, Cheese loses her temper and feels betrayed in some way. Lessla is also affected by this ratement. Corvus basically tells everyone who's willing to go basically to disperse and get ready for the night. Telling Cheese to talk to him just after everyone leaves, and then Lessla, he will talk to her later. Corvus, in his attempt to help comfort Cheese, ends up upsetting her more, and Cheese just leaving Corvus there, and then Corvus just goes back to get ready for his last night, and that's where we fucking left off.
Yippee!
Mm-hmm.
In my defense, I didn't know.
Right. But anyway, I believe where last we left off, you were all getting ready to head out for the night.
Yes.
Indeed, that would be the case.
I will add, because I forgot to mention, I forgot about this last session, but I do leave a donation, not a donation, but a fucking thing in the temple. Good manners.
Okay. But you all make your way to the dock ward,
Yeah.
to the area mentioned. And you can see there's a decently large amount of people here. There's actually what seems to be just a generic party going on at this location. It's in between a bunch of warehouses. That whole block seems to be just crowded with various people. Most of them you can tell are locals to the dock ward.
Hooray.
Oh, I guess.
And
Hmm.
yeah, no, that's falls in your court.
I guess.
Cheese?
Go ahead.
Actually, you go first. Go for it.
I was going to say that Lessla, under the mask that is the, and now I can't remember the name. Nanda Plume.
I believe it's pinned.
No, I know Nanda Plume. I was gonna that what it's actually like.
Oh.
Nandake? Something like that. Anyway, Shade is going to walk around. She is doing her best to look relatively unaffected by the conversation that happened earlier. Although it's much harder to tell anything about her now that her facial expressions are concealed by the mask. And she was going to start just looking around for people that seemed less interested in the party itself and were more observing other people.
Okay.
So what's Cheese doing?
Cheese is having the time of her fucking life. She is talking to everybody. She is making friends. She's even flirting a little bit. She's just going at it and laughing loudly with a big ass smile on her face. And this is her outfit, and she looks hot, and she knows it. And she's dancing with anybody who has the chance, and she's talking to anybody who wants to, and she's just smiles and joy and so excited.
She's drunk on life.
And she does have little silver hoof caps on.
The cutest of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good thing centaurs exist in this setting. And tieflings that have cloven feet.
Yep.
Jesus' legs.
You
Jesus.
can actually see a few of them.
Yeah. Jesus' hooves are different from centaur hooves, though.
Yeah.
What are you all going out and looking for, if anything? Cheese is just dancing around.
Yeah, she's obviously, she has a fucking job to do. She's keeping an eye out, but
Mm-hmm. And remind me, who were the individuals you brought with you?
It was everyone but it was Laura, Zorfea, Hope.
Everyone but Vale. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought so. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, because Vale wouldn't be able to have a poker face considering we're dealing with potentially necromancers. Or more than likely necromancers.
Arriving to the party is a not overly fancy, but well-dressed gentleman. He stands about 6'4", although looking at his boots, they clearly add a bit of height to his frame. He wears a dark sort of almost like more black trousers that are tight to his legs, showing off that the man has a bit of muscle to him. He wears the almost knee-high boots that are in good fashion. The jacket and shirt he wears are these deep, rich purple with slight gold or some equivalent accents, and black in certain parts. He is incredibly well groomed. He also wears a pair of gloves. These sort of nice, simple cotton gloves, with a higher collar on his shirt. his hair falls in a well-groomed manner, covering, just sort of draping down to about almost halfway down his back, with two, I don't know what you call it, but a parting that sort of flows down. The image I used as sort of like the idea for it was Dracula from Castlevania. That kind of,
Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of hair. A very this deep black hair, and this rich black beard that's combed to a elegant, like just very tidy and well kept. And covering the bit of his face that would be exposed and not covered by hair or beard is this golden, or at least gold-colored eagle-like mask
Mm-hmm.
that just like brings attention to his face. He is well postured, standing up straight, and he is sort of not asking for attention, but the way he holds himself in a way that says, I am more important than you. And he perhaps makes small talk with a few people who maybe have the nerve to talk to him. If you cannot approach him, then you are not worthy
You're
of
not
being
worth
spoken
talking
to.
to.
Also, just looking around and observing his surroundings.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, how do I describe this outfit? Marin, I showed you the picture, right? How would you describe it?
Oh God, I gotta scroll back.
No, I'll just post it here because, like,
Yeah, Herbie, the amount of images I see in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
you asked
understandable.
you asked the artist. Do you remember this one image? No.
That's fair. I don't know how to describe that other than like a lot of leather.
You don't have enough money to buy that.
Red Riding Hood with a gun. That's how I describe that.
Without
So
the
Ruby
gun.
Rose.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not
No,
wrong.
not wrong.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, I imagine disguise self probably makes it look a lot better.
probably.
Also, the reason I described, I didn't mention Corvus' name is because Corvus does not look at all like Corvus. You could not
Yeah.
tell by looking at him.
And same with Sapphire. She's lost her blue hair, and it's now a bit more white with kind of like reddish tips.
Yeah, I think most of us are in the position of none of us showed each other what we're going to look like. So the only one
ones
who's
who
The only one who will
are,
read cheese.
yeah,
the only
we
one
won't
who
be able to
really
know.
knows are Corvus and Sapphire because they kind of came here roughly the same.
hmm Whereas Lessla, I think, came here on her own. Or if she did come with anyone, it was with Zerfea. But I think Zerfea came with Laura, so Lessla, I think, was on her own coming here. And yeah, and fully masked, fully clothed. So, or not fully clothed, fully covered is the correct term.
Mhm.
Okay. So, everyone looking around, I want you all to roll me a perception or investigation check. It is your choice. I just want to see what you
Let's
get.
see. Investigation's a +5. Perception is a +7, so I'll roll that. That
Oh.
sucks.
Investigation 8. Yeah.
Justin turn.
Yay, Corvus.
Okay. Okay.
I do stand 6'4". That does help. That does help a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a bit
Yeah.
it's a bit rough being small. I get lost in the
You're
crowd.
you can see the
So-
ankles.
What the thing that everyone notices is that there is pretty much all across here there are individuals who look like they're doing street magic. They all have kind of the same sort of getup, and no one seems to pay them much mind. It's like they're doing like charlatan wizardry.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
they're
They're street performers.
exactly.
Oh, the
They're doing
temptation.
flashy things. They're using some smoke powder and stuff like that. They're being very flashy and very, you know, the kind of normal thing you'd expect in Waterdeep. They all have very brightly colored, multicolored garments with masks that are like all the same, like happy theater look on them. And these guys are pretty much everywhere, all doing the in general the same thing.
I have a strong temptation to use my invisible mage hand to kind of like fuck with someone juggling, just by like poking
None of them
something
are
in the
actually
air.
juggling.
Okay, well, the idea of like if someone's doing
Um,
jugglings or tossing things in the air, just touching it and just throwing it off course, just the slightest bit, so they kind of fuck up. The temptation I have, just it's strong.
Also, for Cheese and Corvus, you notice, in addition to that, that there are some individuals. They, on any other day, they would be very easy to pick out, but this is Liar's Night. Everyone is very well dressed. Everyone is dressed extravagantly. So these individuals, dressed all in a crimson red, going just from individual to individual, very discreetly looking into their pockets. It doesn't really stand out. What does stand out to you is that none of them are taking anything. You
Are
can
they
see about 4 or 5 of them each. They're all going in, but they're not taking anything.
Ooh.
You
Okay.
notice them put something in instead, or
Not yet.
Yeah. I guess at this point would
Like
be
they're looking for something, but there's nothing that they've taken.
is that Lessa's probably the one that has the poster.
Here's a question: would all of us have gone out, found like a copy of said poster, and also have it with us?
If you had wanted to.
I'm gonna say yeah, because that
You
just
would have
seems
been offered them if you had wanted.
okay. Yeah, then yeah.
we told that this would be an important thing to have, or
No.
Nope.
uh,
It's just that Lesla's the last one that really looked at it and kept it.
Yeah, Cheese would not have one.
Sapphire probably would have, just to like look it over more.
Yeah, I'm like thinking I don't think my Corvus would have one if he was told.
After seeing that these people in red are reaching into people's pockets and
They're
not
not
taking
so much
anything
reaching in,
out.
they're just like looking.
Okay.
Very discreetly.
But also,
Cheese
that's
wants
not
to try
that
and make
weird
yourself
on
an easy
Liar's Night.
target.
Okay. What do you have on you, Cheese?
Shit. In terms of like her pockets, what she'd have in her pocket, she'd have her gold.
That's not a thing you do on Liar's Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what would Cheese have in her fucking pocket?
Candy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we'd all have candy in our
Yeah.
pockets.
Candy. Yeah. Oh shit, Cheese would have her fucking essence of Saluna on her.
Really?
Well, that wouldn't be still on the staff.
Well, yeah, I guess Cheese does have her staff. She has it on her staff of the outer. I don't know. Various trinkets and knickknacks. Nothing of too much importance, though. Not in her pockets. She's also made sure to decorate her staff of the adder to make it also look like encased in butterflies. There's like a flower at the top of it, and there's a bunch of butterflies around.
Yep.
But Cheese wants to try and make herself an easy target for these people in red.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me, I'll say deception. Or, I think performance you can probably get away with as well.
I just roll perception or deception. Oh, I'm fucking fucked. I'm fucked. We're toast, guys.
Your observant feat is actually working against you here because you were
Yeah.
used to noticing everything.
Accidentally making eye contact with them
Yeah,
as they get closer.
You try and do that, Cheese. But you focus so much on like trying to not be a target. They actually move around too much and make it hard for them to do this.
Hmm. Okay.
You
Another
figure
thing
this
I
out
could see.
after about 20 minutes that you're not having any luck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lessla actually
Yeah.
is just an easy target because I don't have clout here.
Yeah, she another thing that Cheese will do is she will try and see if she can recognize the others and keep track of where they are.
I love how everyone can keep track of
I
cheese,
will
but
say
no
that's
one can.
investigation.
Okay. This is gonna go great.
Like, I love how Sapphire and
that went
Corvus.
better than anticipated.
I love how Sapphire and Corvus can kind of like recognize each other because they probably left their
Yeah,
rooms
that's
at the
not
same time.
Yeah, Cheese, you're able to pick out the others.
Okay.
Hmm.
She's not going to make any like physical indication that she knows that they are there, but she knows.
And Shadow
It's
has left the
probably very.
roll 20.
Oh.
No,
It did that thing where it's
it
a
had to
blink screen.
reload, so
Yeah.
it's doing that.
Well, we're here now.
She's very likely came with Hope, so she's probably talking a lot to Hope as disguised as Ariel.
Okay. Hope seems to be, at least in character, enjoying
Mm-hmm.
herself. Out of character, yeah, maybe not as much.
Cheese will at least try to genuinely make them smile a little bit, but probably not to much success.
And
Guess
not really.
at a certain point, I don't know if Jesus being able to clock Corvus or not, but the well-dressed man will approach Cheese and offer to dance with her.
Since yes, of course, of course.
And this is when both of them fail the performance check.
It'll die in the process. Sorry, I muted while I was dying for a second. We're good now. At least we should
Okay.
be. Yes, she's happily, or Luna, as she would have introduced herself, happily accepts.
The man gives Luna a. It's almost an awful thing. If she knows its course, maybe she knows why it looks kind of awful. It's weird, crooked smirk. And the man barely speaks. He basically held his hand out for like in a gesture of "Do you wish to dance?" Basically, has not spoke.
Okay.
But as you introduce yourself, he responds, Lord Ahriman. Pleasure, ma'am.
The pleasure is all mine, my lord.
And we'll take Jesus' hand and dance him for a little bit.
And she will gladly dance with him. And whenever he says Lord Arm, she will also give him a subtle little wink.
Yeah. And just has a little dance with for a while. Using this to like, these spins are slow and just people doing stuff, but also it's like, it's a really good excuse to be looking around without drawing attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Doc Holliday, do not step on my keyboard, you little shit.
I imagine the music is not like waltzy, it's party music. That's not different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
tavern
definitely
music,
upbeat.
fun.
If you've ever seen a video of Mardi Gras, that's pretty accurate to what you're seeing here.
Okay.
Ah, hell yeah.
That's there is certainly no small amount of just blatant debauchery going on.
Yeah. Cheese would
debauchery.
participate in some of it, I will say. She does.
I do have a question though about the debauchery. When people are dancing together, what exactly happens? Always wants to try and like look like he belongs here.
It depends. Some of them are just having a good time. There
Yeah.
are others who've clearly had a few and are all over each other. It's really a mixed bag. Really, as long as nothing happens in the middle of the street, Waterdeep doesn't really care, especially not here.
Okay. At the end of the dance, Lord Arum would thank Cheese for it and kiss her on the cheek, and then leave his way off.
Cheese will mirror the gesture.
And then
It
he's
was a
off.
pleasure.
Of course, pleasure was all mine. And he does like an actual bow, which you can tell is
Aw.
something he is, because you've seen Lessla do a bow occasion, so it's literally an imitation of that.
Ah, okay. Cheese does a very low curtsy.
And then once he is where he stands with a confidence of a man who's just danced with a pretty woman and makes his way back into the crowd. Because you were the first person he approached.
Yes.
A little bit of chaos. A little bit of
With a K.
chaos.
Bulky.
Yes. Other than these red-cloaked red-robed individuals, this course has sort of been clocking them a little bit. Not observable, not in any like. It's like basically like, I'm not gonna point out someone's stuff on Liar's Night. You know, if any day is the day to do it, Liar's Night is the thing. I also imagine anyone who's wearing particularly cheap costumes, Lord Aram will sometimes pity them and flick them a quote unquote gold coin.
Is a candy.
It's the candied coins, like, just flicks them a coin, like, which is probably making him very well liked until people realize it's not actual gold. But it's so in theme with Liar's Night. I don't think anyone would be too mad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lessla is almost contrary to how Cheese is acting. Is very much acting as a almost skulking around the edges, acting like it doesn't belong in a place like this. But she is always looking towards the center and all the people that are passing through.
And Sapphire, did you mention what you're doing, or did I miss it?
I have not yet.
Okay.
Sapphire is going to be going around doing what people typically do on Liar's Night. Reverse and actually pickpocket people. Just do the whole swap-a-roo with the candy coins.
Yeah.
Or, candy in general. Like, take out some Skittles, leave a Tootsie Pop.
I think we gave you one candy coin as a joke.
No.
I think Corvus and Sapphire would have given us some for the purpose of Liar's Night.
I was just remembering back then it was like, here's your share, one coin.
One coin.
I can make this into 30.
Yeah. It's really funny. We got really close to October with this one.
It'll probably be October by the time we get to the climax of this arc. So we're still on schedule.
Fear.
Possibly.
Possibly. And then we're done with this in 2 weeks. And we move fast for once. Anyway.
All right. Also, do either of you move to let everyone know about what you've seen, or do you just let it be?
The problem is I only know one person's costume. So I don't know anyone else.
And
But with Ariel being there, actually, I think while they were dancing, Corvus might have let Cheese know because he doesn't know if she's seen it. So is she can
Cheese would have confirmed.
She can inform Ariel, and Corvus will use his abilities if he can find Sapphire in the crowd. Though I imagine Sapphire's not being the most stealthy. But if
No,
he can't,
not at the moment.
yeah, he will inform Sapphire because those are the only two he knows for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Because Corvus can communicate
Cheese-
without anyone really knowing.
Yeah,
What
Cheese
is-
would have told Ariel and or Ariel. Ariel? Why am I saying Ariel?
Ariel.
Ariel.
Oru.
And she would have asked Ariel to very vaguely describe what Lessla looks like and ask Ariel to tell Lessla. And Sapphire. And everyone else that she clocked that's in the group, I guess. So Zarfea and Syndrus included.
Okay.
Zarfea and Syndrus? That's the same person! Lara and Syndrus.
Well, the problem is that Lessla exclusively calls her Zarfea because of a conversation they had, and no one's ever asked why.
Those names are Syndrus is Snow, Lara is Lyra, she's creative, and Hope is Ariel.
Look, you got her.
I know. I'm not actually giving shits. It's hard to think of a good name.
You know, she could have done liar, but spelled with the Y, so it's
Yeah.
YRE.
Hang on, let me put this in here. We got Zarfea as Snow,
I think
Literally
it's
have it as a
somewhere.
separate notepad.
Hope, and Ariel, and Lara was what again?
Lyra.
Lyra. Okay. I've edited the pinned thing so that we don't have to.
Well, the thing
Strain
is
ourselves.
it was already there. If you just go up, they're next to each other. Oh wait, no, you edited it right as I went to it, you asshole.
Yeah.
You dumbass.
I just said I edited the message.
Yeah, but you said you edited it after I was looking at it changed.
Too fast.
Because I had a feeling that it was up there because Shadow wrote it down at some point.
Yeah, like a week after that one.
Yeah, probably. Anyway. Yeah. Nice bulk.
Cheese is also making sure to keep track of the people who are in multiple colors and the people who are in red, if at any point their pattern of movement changes.
Excluding Sapphire, because she is also
Not
coincidentally wearing red.
Not really.
Like, at any point, do the people in red stop, or...
Not at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, you send Laura or Ariel off to find Lessla. And Lessla, it doesn't take very long before the small red-headed girl walks up to you with a smile, just a very simple mask on her, some kind of dingy-looking clothes. She'll walk up to you with a big smile. Got a message for you.
A message for me? I guess I am quite important. What is it?
And Hope will lean forward, like let you know what Cheese has seen, and pop back up, immediately jump back, holding a piece of candy pulled from your pocket. Gotcha. Happy Liar's Night, and run off.
Happy Lies Night. I really want to see if Hope has anything in the pockets using the invisible mage hand. Would that be the
I mean,
intelligence?
they've run off now, so.
Yeah, but
So
I have
you can't
range.
pickpocket. You can't pickpocket with your mage hand.
Oh well,
That is correct.
Specifically, that arcane trickster thing.
is it okay?
It's literally their whole thing.
Well, I have an invisible mage hand because it's stupid things, and I use
Yeah.
it to do stupid things sometimes.
I know you do.
I could tie both
Could
shoes together.
You could trip them.
That's what I was
Grabbing the
thinking.
ankles.
That's what I was. That,
I don't think you could tie shoelaces, but you could definitely grab the ankles.
Yeah. Well, I've done it to tie shoelaces before, but that I had time to do that.
Yeah. I remember that. Cheese was a cat.
Please look at that.
Good times. And then I fell into a thing of water, and then he turned out to be our sneaky friend.
Actually,
Yeah,
I think
so
a funnier thing to do, and because it's not something Lessa would usually do, is the only reason she's considered doing it, is using the invisible mage hand to basically, you know how she slapped Cheese that one time to wake her up?
Oh God.
Very Liar's Night themed. Yeah.
It's very Liar's Night.
Tapping people on the shoulder, fucking with them.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what Leslie will do. After they get like 20, 25 feet away, she'll then invisible mage hand to tap on the shoulder.
To Sapphire?
Not Sapphire, to Ariel, just as a way of like returning the Liar's Night. To make it seem like they don't know each other.
Mhm.
Leslie doesn't even know what Sapphire looks like right now.
Nope.
Mm.
Some of us went for costumes that basically you can't tell who the fuck
Yes,
we
sorry,
are.
No,
Yeah,
all,
it's last
trying to
no, it's last
figure out
night. It's
why
meant to be
this thing isn't
confusing.
working. There it is.
It'd be
Okay.
confusing.
yeah, and three of us have costumes that if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't know it's us. I
Cheese
imagine
is going the way of her personality right now is so unlike what Cheese has acted like before. It's a sort of, and the fact that the two little antennae that she has, she's not hiding the fact that she is a fawn, but those two other antennae also look like the horn in the center of her head, so there's no telling which ones are real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
she's not being stupid about it.
I think
yeah.
the only reason why Blue would be able to pick out Lessla as who she is because they spent the previous night braiding the hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, realistically speaking, is the only reason why Cheese can pick Lessla out.
I think the thing, for one, Corvus introduced Doctor and used his code name, but also anyone who knows who's stared into Corvus's eyes, such as Cheese, long enough, easily tell Corvus's a distinct hazel eyes. Everything else, though, like it was designed around the idea of like, if you saw the two people side by side, like you got this image and then Corvus, you would not be able to tell.
Yeah.
You'd be like, that's the same guy.
Yeah. If I could justify it, there would be a minor enchantment on the mask that Les was wearing that keeps people from seeing her eyes.
Yeah. Also, I think of course his personality is completely different. Corvus is not a center of attention type, whereas what he is now is he almost expects it.
Yeah. It's like I said, Lesla has decided that she's doing the opposite. Basically, she's the opposite person of who she would usually be, which
Exactly.
is someone who skulks around on the outside and is actually super self-important.
Yeah.
Which is
Also,
funny.
all the other, like, while we're just doing these pieces and like, making our way and having people introduce themselves to us in whatever way they do, or trying to pickpocket us, which is all playful and good-natured. One, do the red people ever get close to me? Or two, all the ideas of other rooms in this place? Or is it just like one big open chamber? So what you said is a warehouse, right? So it means that there might be like upper layers or something, or
I thought it was like a Mardi Gras, like outside party type of thing.
Yeah,
In the
no,
street.
it is. It is.
oh, it's outside. Okay, it's
Yeah,
outside
no,
a warehouse.
it is. Outside is in the streets. There are some people who are on top of some of the warehouses.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
fine. Cheese would be up there at some point.
Oh, if
Commoners.
Cheese wants to climb the ladder, Cheese can be her own guest.
Yeah. She's
Remember
fucking doing
ladder.
it. She's doing anything she can.
just like the little thing, just like slide off. Ominous. Yeah, so like, there's no like. If we watch the people in red cloaks long enough, they don't like go towards a particular area, or there's not like a specific warehouse where like, because I imagine there's food and stuff here. Is it just literally a dance floor?
There's really no defined place anywhere. People have kind of just shown up and done whatever.
Nice.
Here's a question. How far away from the warehouse where we had our first quest is this?
Sorry?
I said, how far away from the warehouse where we had our first quest is this?
It's not super far away, but it's not close either.
Okay.
Like, it's maybe about a 30-minute walk.
All right. And just something that came to mind as this was all happening.
Awkward.
Would be an amazing callback is that the rest of this happens in that same goddamn warehouse.
Sure.
The first time Cheese almost died.
She's actually died since then. It's okay
Yeah.
though. She got better.
Ugh.
Yeah, Cheese is having fun and picking pockets and having her own pockets be picked. And watching anything and everything that she can and seeing if anything looks out of the like very much not typical. Like the people in red or the people in the matching costumes or stuff like that. If there's any other large organized group of similar costumes.
Right.
I think Lessla as a probably is going to once told about the red cloaks, she will attempt to pickpocket one of them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that.
It's not bad for the fact that I'm not trained in it.
Yeah, it's also not bad because you won't get really in trouble for doing it on last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Thing notices.
So you reach into their pocket and you are able to grab out a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you have to put something back in as well.
I know. Candy coin goes in.
Candy coin goes in. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will bear in mind, because you would know this, that will mean that someone will know that you picked something out of their pocket.
Yeah. I guess no, because I'm making it look like Liar's Night, but actually no, I would make it seem like, oh, I happened
It's part
to
of the
choose you.
festivities,
Yeah, I would return
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So yeah, there would be
So you put the coin in.
yeah, put the coin in.
So there is a map on it of the local area, and there is a warehouse highlighted along with a time. About 2 hours from now. And when you flip it over on the back, there is a symbol. One that you don't recognize.
Ah, I didn't even check to recognize it. That's interesting.
If you want, you can try to make say it's a history check.
All right. That's a 23.
Okay, so you can tell this is definitely a wizard's mark of some variety, though it's not one you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very clearly what it is. Just the design of it tells you as much.
Alrighty. With that in mind, Lessla will very obviously to Cheese, because I don't think there's any way I can actually beat her passives. Will make her way through the center, but where Cheese is making her thing, and reverse pickpocket her before making her way kind of towards in the direction of that warehouse. And like she'll get a little bit away from the party, and then she'll wait for the rest of the people to come.
Okay.
She's, knowing that Lessla did that, will kind of step to the side for a moment, probably brushing off a few people to very subtly look at the sheet of paper, what it is and where it's marking. And then she will again find Ariel, who has been with her the entire time, and her handler, for lack of a better term, will very subtly give that letter to Ariel and ask her to relay it to Corvus. She will also describe what Corvus looks like.
Yeah, what Corvus looks like. It's like, huh?
You know the handsome gentleman with the dark hair that danced with me earlier? You're going to give it to him.
Man, on Liar's Night too.
All right.
Yeah.
But I imagine that eventually this turns into a chain of, hey, message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I only know one other
But,
person. That is unfortunately
Lessla, you
Sapphire.
have the map, correct? With the symbol on it. You're holding on to that.
Thought she slipped that to Cheese.
She slipped it to
I see.
Cheese. Eventually, hopefully, it gets back to Lessla.
Gotcha.
Relatively quickly.
Cheese would have given it to Ariel. Ariel would have given it to Corvus.
Corvus would have given it
Corvus
to
would have
Sapphire.
informed Sapphire to meet him
Yeah.
at a point,
And
given it back to Ariel
Okay.
to inform the others.
But Lessla, are
Yes.
you doing anything else?
No. I think I think Lessa will keep an eye on Ariel, like watching that entire thing happen, because she's trying to be very observant at the current moment. Is after she sees that, she will try and intercept Ariel once she's told everyone to quote unquote pickpocket it back.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. That will be a sleight of, or is it sleight of hand?
Pocketing, yeah.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Pickpocketing side. That's funny.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All those rapier lessons paying off.
I have one more thing that Cheese wants to try and do.
Okay.
Cheese is going to want to try and dance with one of the ones in red.
Okay. So you walk up to the one in red.
I'm so
And-
sorry.
Go ahead.
Would I be able to dance with you?
Let me roll the dice real quick.
Rolls a dice. It's Oxel.
Be so
Oh,
funny.
no.
I would fucking lose my shit if it was him.
Okay.
It's
So
a
since
bear
you said that, now I'm
frozen.
rolling a d20.
It was the
Might be.
20th
It would
gospel.
make sense that he might be here.
Yeah.
A lead spy. So
Yeah, but you walk up to this fellow. It's a very live-looking man. He turns to you. I'm sorry, miss. I very much don't dance, and bad knee.
Oh, we can go slow if that would help.
It would help to not dance at all, miss.
Oh, oh goodness, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
Quite
offend.
all right, miss. And he tries to quickly hurry himself away.
Was that motherfucker lying to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
that's what last night. You don't need to be good at lying. People just expect you to be doing it.
Yeah, and people would be lying. Maybe that's the bit he's doing. Is he has a bad knee?
Yeah, that's a costume.
Now, is
Can
he
I tell it's
committing to
not
the
just
bit?
like a...
Oh, he scurried.
No,
You
not
don't
at all.
scurry. You don't scurry with a bad knee.
That's a
Yeah,
shame. That'd be
scurries,
fun.
yeah,
Like
like,
scurrying, just limping away quickly.
Ow, 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 ow.
I
All
mean,
right.
I've
Then-
I've
okay.
scurried with a limp. It's possible.
It is possible, but
Cheese. Okay. Alternative plan. Plan C, or step 2. She's going to try and dance with one of the people, like with one of the street performers, in the multicolored outfits.
Okay. You go up to one of them who's currently doing a bit. They're throwing some magic balls, or quote unquote magic balls, back and forth between their hands, and they throw one of them down. It pops and elicits a shower of sparks and smoke.
That'd be a good one in
Eventually
Mage
applause
Hand.
at the crowd.
After they throw it up, it doesn't come back down.
I so badly want to just have a fucking invisible mage hand just poke it so it like they can't catch it correctly and it just falls so badly.
Why do both of you want to harm these poor people?
Not harm. I just want to fuck with them.
Okay.
Look,
Anyway,
Sapphire's
Cheese, you
been
walk up to one
like,
of them. It looks
Yeah.
over. They look
She-
over at you. Give a bow. I need to roll something again.
It's Oxel.
She doesn't interrupt
Alright.
per se. She gets a little bit closer than the rest of the people there, and she gives the most devious little bedroom eyes fucking wink
oh my god,
ever.
Corvus isn't gonna be happy.
Roll me a
Not
be charm, I believe.
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Yes,
Persuasion?
thank you.
Okay, flat roll.
Yes.
Okay. The name of the...
Yeah, flat roll.
All right. The name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
That one.
I'm not looking at it.
Ooh, pretty good.
Fuck yes!
The +3s we're
So,
having
geez,
today.
this individual who you can see from the getup, this is just from the outline of it, this is very clearly another woman.
Okay.
Takes a moment, like doesn't respond, and then kind of turns to all the showgoers, takes a bow, quickly gathers their stuff up, and looks at you expectantly, though through the mask.
Might I have this dance?
They do a curtsy.
Cheese offers the woman her hand, kind of motioning for her to lead the dance.
It is taken. Is taken. Yeah. Let me determine something. It's taken somewhat hesitantly, but they do start. They do start leading you through the
Oh.
dance.
Are we a touch shy?
Roll another persuasion check, Cheese.
Oh my
The pause on the
god.
side. I'm not allowed to speak.
Persuasion. Shit, not as good. 8.
Stepping on their toes, you're ruining the bit.
They stop, put a hand on their hip, and pop it.
Oh,
Like, really?
my apologies. You seemed so hesitant. I just wasn't quite sure. I am
They
Luna.
they hold out a hand for you with a kind of confident air about them now.
Oh, Cheese takes it. And this is in like a dance mentality, correct? Just double checking.
It seems that way.
Yeah, Cheese.
Not
If
Cheese
you
the
want to
solid.
get more into that, it would be an insight.
I will go ahead and insight that if that's okay.
That'd be funny if it was Calico.
24.
They have other things in mind.
Oh, fuck.
Jeez, you gave them bedroom eyes to begin with.
You did give them
Yeah.
better rhymes to begin with, but
Also,
we
this
haven't
is
got
Liar's
to.
Night. Never
Yeah.
trust anyone on Liar's Night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the dance. Bye. Toodaloo.
What is
So
Cheese
do
doing
that.
this
you take
moment?
their hand with that knowledge.
Cheese will hold her hand, give it a gentle kiss, and then lean in, kiss on the cheek, and say, "Not tonight, sweet thing. I've got other plans."
So
And there's so many more hours within the rest of the night, my dear.
So, this individual, they slide their mask over a little bit and gesture to the now exposed cheek once more.
Another. Cheese will go in for another kiss on the cheek.
Go ahead and just roll me a dex check, Cheese.
Oh, God.
That's all I can.
What? Just the entire air of this person, it feels like Calico.
Oh, no. 6. I lost.
So you go in for that, and you get a smooch full on the lips.
No, not Jesus' first kiss. That was supposed to be for Corvus.
Shut up. Go in the corner. Go in the corner. Go to horny jail.
Go in the-
Go to jail.
go in the corner.
I want them to have a wholesome first kiss. Is that a
Go in the
crime?
corner.
I am the
If
co-captain
you don't,
of that
and
ship.
I will tell you, if you do not push them off, they will not stop.
Cheese will push them off. Not aggressively, but just like, stop this now or I will get aggressive. Like I said, not tonight. And then she will move on.
There's a shrug and a turn on the heel and getting back to what they were doing.
As I'm leaving, can I try to pick her pocket?
You know what? Sure.
And I will drop in a gold coin as well.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know if I
And
would.
Cheese, as you're leaving, you see them. You see in their hand that they have a little candy that they didn't have before.
Nice.
Your candy pouch feels just slightly lighter.
Ah. What did I pull from her pocket, if anything?
So from hers, there is a small little. It's kind of like half a locket, but it's made of wood.
Okay.
And on it there is a a set of initials. It says CF.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Calico.
It's
Yep.
Calico.
I was like, I'm like,
Bitch.
everything all together. I'm like, yeah, this feels like Calico. We're
Could
like,
have been any person, but that's just.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a simple like wooden half locket piece with CF carved on the inside.
I see. No other. There's no like embellishment or decorate. It's just the CF.
Just the CF.
Okay.
It's done in a very flamboyant way, but it just says CF.
Okay. She will not put that in her pocket. She will put it inside of her bust so that it does not get stolen.
Oh, unless someone's feeling particularly handsy.
Yeah, well, they actually would get a fucking snake
I
to the
think
face.
that goes against Liar's Night.
There, you can see that there is definitely plenty of that going on though.
Yeah. That's consensual.
You're with how drunk some of these
Hopefully.
people are, you're really not sure.
Yeah, true.
All right. How long does it take for the group to gather?
Not long. Take about, I'd say about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
A coin flip.
She's just maybe a little bit longer because she's pushing away people. Theoretically,
Well, there's
anyways.
probably the same thing for depending on how many people want to talk to the serious mask, the confidence of someone who. I don't know.
Yeah, you do notice that kind of now in like disguise, like faces covering, and the atmosphere, people aren't really avoiding you all like they usually do. Why that would be, you're not entirely sure.
Alcohol.
That's likely a large portion of it.
Also, the party set. Also, I've learnt this thing is you wear a mask. The power of anonymity, so wearing a mask.
Yep.
Can actually increase confidence.
Yeah, it's the same
It's like
reason why people are assholes on the internet.
They may be scared of us, but they're so like they won't be able to recognize me. Slaps behind, runs off.
That's why people are terrible on the internet because there's a barrier of anonymity,
also masquerade
supposedly.
balls.
Anyway. I guess when everyone gathers,
Are you looking for anywhere in particular to meet? Like somewhere where it's like, are you looking for somewhere that's kind of distracting? Are you looking for somewhere that's in the middle of everything? Somewhere off to the side where there's nobody? Like, what are you looking for?
I think kind of. I think in the middle of everything is probably going to be the best.
Okay.
Because we don't want it
in the middle of the revelry, or are you looking for a scene? Because both are going on.
Yeah. I don't.
There are a few spots where a large crowd has gathered to witness something that's going on.
I think, yeah, they're using that as a way of making it seem like we're talking about what's going on rather than what we're going to do. Lessla,
so
yeah,
you're able to see there is one of like the taller lamp posts there. This one being about like 30 feet tall. It has some hanging lamps on it. It's basically just sort of to look nice, but it's the dock ward, so any niceness it had has long since faded.
No.
And there is an individual who has climbed up to the top of it, hanging off of it, and is batting at the lamp, saying, "Fly into the light, fly into the light, fly into the light." But the crowd's kind of cheering him on as there are two individuals you can clearly see, in spite of kind of the costumes, these are like a city guard. Probably the only ones here who are trying in vain to get this individual down.
Yeah.
Whilst the rest of the crowd kind of cheers him on and jeers at the guards.
Yeah. Using that basically as a way of hiding the gathering of all of them specifically. Unless it would probably be waiting there for the rest of the group. And once everyone gathers, she will hold out the piece of paper, like kind of hold it up, not like actually showing it to anyone, and say there's a time and a place. If the persons who had this are suspicious enough for us to look into it, I think that this is the best place to go.
say because whenever the group all arrives, Chorus has one arm draped over Cheese's shoulders, and I imagine Ariel is also in nicer clothing. Also has his arm draped over Ariel, as well as because he has kind of long arms, one maybe draped over one of the other girls. Like, just being a douche in a many ways.
I love him. I love him.
So,
Jesus playing her part.
Let me just Corvus.
Yep.
Roll a dice. We'll say odd is even. Or say odd is Zarfea, even is Laura.
Odd is even.
I mean, line of sight, that could be
odd
true.
is Zarfea, even is Laura. Laura, so you've got your arm around Hope in disguise, as Ariel, Laura, and Cheese.
Jesus playing her part well.
Yeah.
As is Hope.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Lessla is continuing.
Laura, for her part, seems unsure of what to do.
Yeah, that would be true. One, is this one of our group? And two, if it is, who?
Well, now that you've all assembled, she seems to have figured out who it is. That seems to be the source of her confusion.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
Yeah.
Back to computer is normal.
It's like,
yeah.
If you want to get a sense of that, that's a dice roll.
Nah.
Of what has her so
Insight.
confused?
Insight. If you want to try and like glean more into Laura just being generally confused with the situation, you can. I don't know.
I think it's because we have not actually told her anything.
No, she knows. She knows.
Chorus
you
is
can
in
see
disguise.
that.
But I'll go ahead and roll it.
But you can see that. As far as you can tell, it just seems confused that this is Corvus.
I don't care at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
As for what everyone's in, Zarfea is in a very, very simple, like you'd say they look like rags, but they're very clearly done in a way that they're supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
Think like what's it like? What's the thing? Think like a hag getup and has a mask with like a very long nose on it.
Okay.
Love it.
Mm.
Very fitting. Very good.
Yep.
As for Laura has something that's much more flashy. It's bright red, almost to the point where it blends in with her skin tone, but you can still tell there's a difference.
Yeah.
And it is carved in such a way to look like not so much like anything infernal, but more like a I'm trying to think of how to describe it.
It's a script. A script.
Kind of what?
Script.
You're like only getting half the words in.
Yeah.
I don't know how it does that.
Come through.
Okay, SERIPT.
Script.
Script? What about a script?
Some type of script.
Oh, okay. No, and not like the theme, not like language.
Yeah, it's like it's not actual words. It just looks like words.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very nice. It's elegant. But the mask itself is it only covers like the lower part of her face. and it's got a veil dangling down from the top of it. It has it has some lipstick on it and some blush, and then the veil dangles down over that. You can just see her eyes above it.
Okay. Yeah, but Lessla says is, unless you all want to continue the festivities, I suggest we get this over with as quickly as possible, and then you can return.
Push ahead. That's fine. And he just like gestures to the group of women surrounding him, like with the confidence thing. Just leads them all off into a place that's a little more obscured, with very much the air about him off. Everyone knows what's going to happen. It's not what's going to happen, but everyone knows what's going to happen.
Leslie continues the skulking style of walk.
Gonna find a place out of eyeshot, hopefully.
Yeah. Cheese will go off giggling like a sorority girl.
Pulls Cheese in tighter when she.
Fuck yes. She leans into it.
All right. But do you show everyone the piece of paper?
Yeah,
Because you didn't want her bringing out the piece of paper too much while we were in. So
Yeah.
we had to think of
and
an
I'm
excuse.
assuming you had this you put it in your pocket for the time being, correct?
Yes.
So you actually feel, is it in the same one with the flyer?
Yeah.
You can feel 3 of them in there now.
Oh my god.
Do I feel anything in my pockets?
No.
Because I also had one of the flyers.
Oh, yes.
How many new flyers do I have in my pocket?
Not
So you
flyers,
don't
I
have a
think it's
flyer,
the
you have
map.
the same thing that Lessla has, with one exception. There is a word written in red on the back next to the symbol.
Okay, what's the word?
The word is knock.
Knock.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have flowers go around and whisper that in everyone's ears. Like,
Well,
the password is knock.
Lessla, yours is the same, the new one that you have.
Yeah. Lessla seeing that, she's going to once we're in discreet, she's going to pass each one out until everyone has one that says knock on it. And which one?
You only have one that says knock on it.
Okay, I only have one that says knock on it. Okay.
As does Sapphire.
All right. Well, Lessla seeing that will look to Sapphire and says, "Is if this is not only a instruction but also the invitation, it will be mainly us two moving through."
Shadow, how... I'm not proficient in forgery, but how easy would it be? Or like are they 2 different handwritings for the knock, or is it the same?
Yeah, they're different handwritings.
Okay.
We can prestidigitate to create false handwriting.
You can tell from the look of it that this is something like someone tried to write this while it was sitting in their hand, so the writing is very uneven.
Okay.
And probably whoever did this didn't have great penmanship to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the
So
fact that you can tell
relatively-
it says knock is just barely.
So it should be easy to forge regardless, given we have something to write in red.
Prestidigitation.
I got blood.
I was gonna say blood!
I mean, you can try.
I imagine that would be like a sleight of hand, right?
If you want.
Well, I've got, you know...
It'll be a hard check with just sleight of hand because you normally use a forgery kit.
Yeah.
But you have one.
I don't, and I'm not proficient in it either.
Uh-huh. So you can use sleight of hand. It's not going to be an easy check.
Do I dare would it be okay to practice on a page we're not, like, on something we're not using? Or would I have to have multiple checks to practice and then actually do?
Once again, we can prestidigitate.
That's
Mhm.
okay, fine.
They're
I didn't think it'd be that much harder with without a forgery kit,
they
because
are.
it's just
The
a
end will point out
handwriting on a
that
hand.
they are just giving these out.
Yeah.
So in that
Actually,
case, I will give my copy of the flyer to one of the party members, and then we can just keep exchanging it until the time comes.
yeah. That's probably the best thing to do is give the flyer to
Gotcha.
you guys, and you'll eventually we'll have enough if we make our way there. Assuming that this is like a Mardi Gras party that's all throughout the Dark Wars.
Not throughout the entire dock wards, but it is covering about 5 or 6 blocks
Yeah, in
of
which case we have
warehouses,
more
and
than enough
warehouse
time.
blocks are large.
We have more than enough time to do this. In which case, Lessla will actually suggest that we separate again and then converge when we get to the warehouse once everyone has their invitation.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that won't be very hard at all.
It won't be very hard at all. Lessla will start. Will change from the skulking style of doing things that she had been doing thus far to try and make it seem like she was more of an outcast. To doing to being a much more active participant in the celebrations. As she makes her way across towards the warehouses, towards the marked warehouse. So it seems like she's just partying across instead of going there with purpose.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else is doing?
Nothing new. Although the temptation keeps growing to like kind of like be a little mischievous, but I'm keeping that in for the moment.
Yeah, as Chorus emerges back into the party to get his knock ladder, he walks out, trying to resituate his clothing. As he's seen other people doing that, so he figures that's something you do. You go into the bushes. And we'll wait until he gets his thing, and then pass it off, I guess. Whoever.
Mm.
So we all get our stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the time you have made your way over that direction, you've still got some time left.
Yeah.
You've got maybe about another hour, but all of you do have one of these invitations.
Will be.
In that case, Lessla to kill time will start acting very different from how she usually does. She is usually she's a very much serious person, is always kind of business first. Now that we have time to kill, she's going to act a little more akin to how Cheese had been acting earlier.
She's just going to continue acting
Yeah.
like this.
Although the way that Lessla does it is rather than going all around, is she's trying to draw as much attention to herself as possible doing so. So that is how it is. Where she uses prestidigitation to basically do the same thing that the people on the sides, like the quote unquote magicians on the sides, are doing, except she's doing it with like actual magic.
All right. You know what, Leslie? Go ahead and roll me, I'd say, performance.
All right. Advantage, disadvantage on this?
No.
All right, here we go. 22.
Okay.
I have all the
So-
charisma skills.
Okay, so yeah, as you're doing that, you do see several, like quite a few people come up and start watching you. Like it's Waterdeep; they've seen real magic,
Yeah.
and they can tell that's what this is. You have a feeling maybe if this were in like a higher society place, this wouldn't get as much attention, but in the dock ward, it's getting a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
There are quite a few individuals, some of whom are of like races you can't really identify. But that's not unusual for the dock ward right now. There are a lot of
Yeah.
ships that have come from very far away. One in particular catches your eye, in that this individual looks fairly human, fairly lithe and nondescript, with a couple exceptions. Where you would normally see like human feet or shoes, there are two very clearly talons, like bird talons.
Mm.
And on the joints and shoulders, there are patches of feathers growing off of this person. Also, they seem to be intermixed in their hair. And the very telling thing is what at first you thought was a cape, you can tell is a pair of folded wings resting on their back.
Interesting.
And they're currently wearing a mask that covers the top of their face. But I will go ahead and I will put a copy of what you're seeing on the right there for
Karube's
you.
bird people. What the fuck?
Interesting.
Ooh.
Lessla, seeing that, will basically will approach this person and say is, well, aren't you dear thing, would you care for a dance?
Oh, me?
Yes, absolutely you. I promise you I'm a great dancer.
Oh, okay. Can I finish my food first?
Absolutely.
There is a sizable amount of broth and noodle and vegetable in the bowl still.
Mm-hmm.
But you are impressed with how quickly that is polished off. Probably half a bowl of soup is polished off in under a minute.
I mean, that sounds akin to what I
Wait, there's
usually,
bird
to how much I eat, so,
people. Sorry.
yes, bird person. But Lessla, after
But polishes it off and then like just kind of not seeing anywhere, just sort of tosses the bowl off onto the ground
No.
unfortunately,
and looks at you.
yeah, Lessla will hold her hand out for so that she can lead the dance.
Her or Lessla lead the
Lessla
dance?
will lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
She looks at it quizzically, like not quite sure what to do.
Take my hand and follow my lead.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
She does so, and you can feel that there's like a little bit of fuzz on like her wrists, right by where the joint is.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll. I'd say this is a
Performance.
this is probably performance, but I'm gonna say your dex instead of your charisma.
Okay. Let me just. It's just gonna be one less than what it says it is.
Okay.
So it's a 24.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to lead her into it quite well. You can tell she's never danced like this before, but you're able to kind of get her to get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this how all people here dance?
This is how people of the North dance. It is quite lively. If I might, what is your name, lovely lady?
Lady? Me? Well, you can call me Melody.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Melody. I am
And
Shade.
who are you? That's a weird name.
Such is the name of someone who is, well, the best in the world, as it were.
Best in the world at what?
Everything.
I don't think so.
Quite the honest person, aren't you? What brings you to Waterdeep?
That's a long story. I don't know if we really have time for that.
Well, what brings you to this party?
Well, it seemed like a good place to go.
And something
Oh,
tells me...
and I found this, and and she holds up the same flyer you all have had. And I guess this looked like an interesting idea.
Wow, isn't that interesting? I've also been given one of these.
Yeah, and then someone gave me this as well, and she holds up the slip. I really don't know what it's supposed to mean.
I believe it's telling you to go somewhere.
Yeah. But why do we have to wait? That doesn't seem to make much sense. I mean, they called us here, didn't they? They've had a long time.
Perhaps they're finishing the preparations.
Maybe. You'd think they would have had it done a while ago, though.
Yeah.
What makes people wait weeks with one of these? That just seems weird. That's not normal, is it?
It is hard to say what is normal and what isn't, especially on a night such as this.
That's true.
This person hasn't reacted to me like most people do, correct? Even with the amount of alcohol that is being consumed, I don't think she is being affected by that.
It's hard to tell, but there hasn't been a visceral reaction, but there really hasn't been one at all tonight.
Yeah, but I assume that's because of the party going. This person seems like they're almost completely separated from the party, which is why I was wondering.
They actually seem like they're paying very little attention to you in general.
Interesting. Well,
like you can constantly see her head twitching back and forth. Like focusing on something off in the distance and then back to you and then the same thing again.
Basically, like she's hyper observant and something catches her attention for a second before she returns.
Yes, and she's not at all coy about it.
Good point. And as it says is, well, it seems that we are going to the same place, so why don't we go together?
Why not?
Perfect. It'll be fun to have someone to enjoy this night with.
I guess so.
Yeah, Lessla in her mind is like, this person is very succinct, and it's actually a little bothersome.
Get fucked.
At this point in time, with the personality that Lessla is using, yes, it is. Yep, that's what Lessla will be doing, I think.
But can we get something to eat first? I'm still hungry.
Absolutely.
Okay, Can you recommend anything good? The last one was a little too bland for me.
Lessla is going to. I don't suppose I can smell like what she was eating, or could identify what she was eating when she was eating it.
It looked like just a standard bowl of like noodles and broth. Some vegetables are thrown in there. Basically very cheap meal.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck finding anything with actual
And
flavor in the
by
dock
vegetables,
board.
I mean like potatoes and like basically vegetables that keep a long time and are very cheap to purchase.
If you're a fan of sweets, I have some candied coins. You can use
They
those
have
to.
to keep
I see.
a lot.
Well,
Do you have something with meat in it? That'd be my preference. A fish or no, fish I think is my favorite. Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't had fish around here yet. Is it good?
we'll find out together.
Oh, okay.
At which point, I guess.
Where are we going to get fish? I haven't seen any place that sells fish yet. Have you?
I guess it would be because Leslie has been through Dock Wars a few times. Would she remember?
You'll be able to find like one of the many carts that have set up that has fish.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them. But pretty much if you let her go, the conversation will constantly be that way.
Yeah, that's fine. Leslie, after probably like 5 minutes of it, Leslie's probably gotten used to it and is actually a little grateful for that the conversation is the way it is because it does allow her to relax a little bit.
Yeah, if you leave her be, she will talk, ask a question, and then quickly speak again if you don't answer and forget the question.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I guess that's what I'm doing for the next hour. Food hopping.
Lord Aram is.
This girl seems to have a bottomless stomach.
I mean, all things considered, a bottomless stomach is probably something Lessla is at least used to, considering she comes from a kingdom of dwarves.
Yeah. You haven't seen her drink yet, but so far, in terms of food, she's putting some dwarves you've met to shame in just how much she is putting away.
Yeah.
And you really can't even tell.
You know what's a better way to put this? She puts Sapphire to shame.
Also, the thing about this is she's a bird. They have super fast metabolisms.
Yeah, I know. But the joke is, like earlier in the campaign, Sapphire said something about, "I'm not a quitter."
That was based on the memes that we were pulling up in the generator.
Mm.
That wasn't actually in character.
Was it not? I swear.
No. It was not.
Oh yeah,
Nope.
because it's the leftovers thing. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll actually say at a certain point at this hour, just out of curiosity, because he knows some stuff. Lord Aram has also been like, with people. He's also been more approachable because he doesn't really say anything. He just like asks people to dance through his hand out, and if they don't, they don't. And he like he goes, you don't, but they do. He accepts it. He's also keeping his eye out for two nefarious siblings.
Okay.
He knows
You
he
haven't
probably
seen
won't
them
find
yet.
them. Good. He knows they're probably here, but he hasn't seen them. Good. Means his disguise is working perfectly.
Of cats hanging around the dock ward, though, and that puts you on edge.
think whenever he gets a chance to slip away a little bit, which is not too weird, he'll see one of the cats, lower himself to the cat.
There's an orange tabby cat. It just stares at you.
Orange tabby cat, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Is it familiar to me? This one.
No.
This one? Okay.
It looks like a cat. It stares at you.
It's the
Oh,
one he found that one time.
I remember Lynx was an orange cat. Saw him in cat form.
Mm-hmm.
I asked. Helix looks at the cat as he's just like has like some food or a drink of some kind, and sort of like making sure no one's paying too much attention to him. He's down towards the cat, takes his glove off, scratches under its chin. It just kind of goes. So they don't get in too much trouble. And then goes back to what he was doing, putting his glove back on, and standing back up and moving back into the crowd.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, Corvus.
The cat's
failed
sticking
this
its
one.
tongue out at you.
So not only does the orange cat start to follow you, but several more come out from the pile of boxes and begin to do the same.
Oh,
He has an army.
There's a little trail
have an army.
following you now.
Okay, at this point, he will.
Yeah, they're all just following.
At this point, of course, we're like, all right, like it's probably close enough to the time. I'll make my exit.
Okay, you make your exit, followed by 6 cats.
Okay.
2 orange, a calico, a tuxedo, and 2 Siamese.
Oh.
There's a little entourage.
Everybody
His
wants to
chorus can't
be a
get-
cat.
They periodically meow at you.
Yeah. Not what he expected. But yeah, he'll kind of wait for the rest of the group, and he'll just kind of do that thing where he's like playing off that he's maybe a little like had a little too much, and it's just like going into an alley to cool off for a bit, kind of thing, while waiting for the others.
Yeah, Leslie's gonna arrive like nearly at the time that they're supposed to be at the warehouse. She's like going to be at the warehouse because she has a bird with her.
Yeah, I think when the group reconvenes and they're walking through the town again, that same like awkward smirk as he once again sees the lovely Luna and attempt to lock arms again with whoever will take the arm. Not Sophia, who he knows is Sophia, because she will hurt him. All right, sorry.
Cheese is gladly falling in.
Mm-hmm.
Also an army of cats, of course.
Yeah, and Sapphire will definitely be there on time.
We get to the warehouse. Not gonna fuck around anymore. We get to this fucking warehouse.
And that's what we're calling
Yeah. Cheese, you've fallen on one side, and surprisingly, the person who falls on the other side is Laura.
it. I think she's gotten used to it. She's figured it out.
It's just for the first time since meeting him, he actually smells nice.
No.
Oh.
He does. He smells like something rich.
I mean, to be fair, we keep presidentating Corvus, so.
Which only does so much. I imagine it's also something like you've kind of become nose blind, of course, in general. So you've probably just
Yeah.
after
Are you
time
all
stopped
walking
doing
in
it.
at once, or
Well,
Lesla's staggered.
I think we stagger.
I go a little bit, but just
okay? So Lessla, you go with the with Melody.
Yep.
Corvus, you walk in with Laura and Cheese. Sapphire, are you going in on your own?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't get a buddy in this buddy system, so alone she
I
is.
mean, there's Hope and Zarfea still.
I mean, I imagine they are going together.
I mean, it's up to you.
Up to you if you want to make someone feel like a
I'm
loner.
fine with being alone.
Rhea has created pockets just so she can put her hands in them.
Okay.
Alright.
So you head over to this area, and there's one of the individuals in red who stops you at the door.
Momentary look of indignant.
He looks at you expectantly and holds out his hand.
Like a head roll. Reaches into his pocket and holds out the card. And if he is inside it, it is clearly someone acting. Going with the theme of lies. It's not like actual.
Laura pulls out one of her own. And
She's also pulls hers out.
and and we're supposed to say this, right? Knock? There is a nod from the individual, and he lets you all pass.
It was actually, he held out his hand, knocked on the guy's hand. Firmly. Be anything.
Knock is actually spelled NOC. Someone did that to avoid the confusion.
But yeah, you all are steadily allowed into this warehouse, and you can see that something has been erected inside of it, actually. Though you can't quite tell what, as there are kind of walls on either side of you, ushering you into a big set of double doors.
Corvus just pulls the two ladies closer to him.
All right.
I'm gonna ask Flowers to see if he can't get a better look at the what's been put in the warehouse, and obviously report back to me if he can get away with being nice and perfectly invisible.
I'd be very careful with that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, steadily you are all allowed entry. And it opens up into a rather grand hall.
Here the fucks again. Jesus Christ. Of course we're in a fucking
We go to church.
Going to church!
This looks more like Hogwarts with dragons.
Wow! Oh look!
They do have
Slytherin!
dragons.
Wait, Shadow, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Symbol, the thing, is that familiar to Corvus?
The symbol on the stained glass?
Yeah.
Yes. You do remember it from that little shrine a while back.
Yeah. This just leans into one of his girl's ears. Mostly probably Luna, because Luna's closest to him. So it just says, he's like whispering something. It's just
Please,
pretend I
to
said
me,
something.
use the characters' real names.
Alright, to
cannot.
cheeses.
Thank
And
you.
I stay in when I get in character, I
That's the
go
main
fully
reason
in
I've been
character.
confused this whole time.
Sorry, buddy. But he says, just pretend I said something funny. And he says, but the image in the window, god named Chazar. Just something we might need to be worried about. And then as he's
Lessla
doing
would
that,
recognize it as well.
Yeah.
of course we'll spread that information to the others as well.
And Cheese will laugh her ass off.
Yeah, except for this person. He doesn't know who that is.
So, Chazar, you and Corvus both know, Lessla. Chazar is the draconic god of eternal life in undeath.
Mm-hmm.
You said in undeath?
In
And,
undeath,
yeah.
yes.
In undeath.
Lovely. We love an undead king.
They
Uh-huh.
had a theory
Though
they might bring-
oftentimes is just said eternal life, but that is
Yes.
how it was gone about.
That
Mhm.
is what Corvus was told. Just told eternal life.
Yep.
Everyone got
Yeah,
eternal life.
Lessla doesn't act like she recognizes the symbol as she looks
Which is
to.
easy because you have no face.
I have no face for people to look upon. Looks to Melody
You
and
have no
says,
face.
"Let us go find a place to sit, my dear. They might be serving food."
I hope so.
Are any of us ushered to sit in anywhere specific? Are we
No,
free
you're
to?
kind of just left to find to your own devices.
You should not have told me that, because this guy has piqued my interest out of character. Ah, screw it. Zoom out so I'm not.
Cheese is following Cheese is acting drunk, and is hanging off of Corvus.
I would say I think sort of a thing of like waits to be seated like a fancy person would. Sees no one seating him, kind of grunts a little bit in like mock frustration. Well, then seeing the way they're separating, he will take one of the lower tables. So I'll go
Oh, let's see.
here.
Oh, while this is fresh on the mind.
Yeah, I'll go here.
No, I can save it later. It's not important.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one going in the middle lanes.
But yeah, more people begin to drift in. You can see these individuals in the cloaks up here, just kind of
Chilling.
observing everything. They haven't really moved since you came in.
They're zombies.
Of course, let's go do a little sniffy sniff. See if he smells the familiar scent of undeath.
Not in this room.
Good.
Cheese is just using her eyes.
I will
Like
also
she
cast a
usually
little
does.
detect magic, just in case. So it's up.
Do remember that the smells like that are still, noticeable when you cast them.
Not for me.
Okay.
I can cast it without components.
Ah,
All right.
fine.
Yeah, there's magic stuff up here. At least I think
Uh,
that's in range of you.
60 feet. I have 60 feet.
No.
5.
Yeah, they're a bit too far.
I'll keep it up just.
It
Okay.
goes up to here. So if this guy's having an
We
advantage
also
on it-
I will guess like if it can reach
so
if it can
you
reach this
can tell
guy,
that
I'm
there
just checking
is-
if he has tattoos because he might have the
There
tattoos.
can
as
be
well.
there is magic on this fellow. You're
This guy?
checking if this guy has tattoos?
This
Yes.
guy, this guy. Checking.
This fellow does not have tattoos. However,
Something that
there are definitely some magical auras on this individual.
I determine which ones.
They're primarily enchantment.
Just understood.
Am I gonna get a warning to be careful? This guy has
Sapphire,
enchantment.
he glares at you as you sit down.
I'm
but,
glaring right back.
Only for a moment, as he then goes right back to looking down, and you can see that he's muttering something under his breath.
God damn it! Why can't I read lips? Why'd I go for Evelyn accuracy? I
Brooding
should have gone and
motherfucker.
observe it.
Elven accuracy is good for you.
I know.
Because someone else already had observant.
I know.
But I'm
Do I at least hear what he's mumbling, or is he just mouthing?
Mumbling.
It's mumble speak, like is done specifically to be unintelligible.
Okay, grumble, grumble.
You have a feeling he knows what he's saying, but no one else does.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm not paying him any mind after the initial shared glare.
Mm-hmm. But do go ahead and roll me a perception check for you on him.
Right. Almost rolled the wrong thing. There we go.
You can see little wisps of steam rising out of his hood.
Interesting. What could possibly cause that?
Good question.
Would that be an Arcana check or like?
No, there's not really a check you could make.
I think after a little bit, just making sure, like, again, like that sort of like this time whispering into the other girl's ear, not actually, was just to pretend I said something, because I said something interesting. So that, and he'll shoot a wisp, and then he'll just say, move his lips a bit for a second, and Sapphire, you just hear one in front has enchantment. Sorry, enchantment magic.
Laura giggles and snuggles a little bit closer to you.
Just waiting for everything.
So, couple questions, Shadow.
Uh-huh.
So one, and this is just to try and get like more, quote unquote bird's eye view on things. Part of Find Familiar is being able to use an action to call forth my familiar from a pocket dimension to anywhere within 30 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any visible thing to that action, or is it just I take the action, it pops up?
I would say you have to visibly like do it to open it. Like if you subtle spell it, then I would think you can probably just will it open.
All right.
But by default, I would say yeah, you're opening a portal to a pocket dimension. It's visible.
Well, that because that then leads to to the how tall is this room, and is there anything that a bird could feasibly be perched on?
This room, it's to ceiling. It's about 30 feet at the highest point.
Okay, and is there like chandeliers or something that a bird could feasibly be perched on without
There are
being seen?
rafters. The top of it is actually very, very dark.
Okay. But would I like physically have to do anything to open it to call it back from the pocket dimension, or would it be or is the only real noticeable thing the pocket dimension opening and then it stepping out?
It would be noticeable that you opened the pocket dimension. Yes.
Okay.
Again, if you had settled spelled it, then I would say you could probably just will that portal open.
Yeah, well, I'm not a sorcerer.
Yeah. But by default, you have to summon it from the pocket dimension. I would say it's pretty obvious that you are opening a portal.
All right. Yeah, in case I'm not going to do it yet.
Yeah, after you all have been sitting there for a while, you see all 6 of the individuals up front. There's suddenly a clamor of them very quickly moving their chairs back and standing up and standing very much at like an attention. And the room goes silent. As from the door on the left behind them walks this individual. Very slowly across the stage.
They don't play with torches.
That's an interesting look to him.
He dropped a torch into his ear when he was little, and it just got stuck in his ear.
I trust you all are enjoying the spectacle of tonight, are you not?
Is there a little bit of a cheer or not?
He doesn't really give much time for. It's clear he's not looking for a response.
Gotcha. Just kind of get a read of the
And I
situation.
thank you all for joining me, for responding to my call and my invitation. I assure you all will be revealed in due time. But first, a gesture of my goodwill to all of you. And he raises his hands, and from the halls begin to wander out skeletal undead. Like they are just the bones, carrying trays of food.
Corvus will just grip Cheese's knee in like a looks like playful manner, but
There
yeah.
are a few gasps from around.
Yeah, I imagine necromancy in Waterdeep has been very much
But
frowned
yeah, no, it's a
upon
big thing.
since,
Yeah, it's very frowned upon.
And I think Corvus will just say a little bit, interesting, just to himself. Well, that's an interesting glamour. Because
I
you know.
assure you, you need not be alarmed. The ban on undeath and its practice is merely a tool by those in power. After all, the ability for anyone to raise up their own army, it threatens their livelihood, their business. Far too much for them to ever allow it.
Full Metal
The fact
Alchemist.
that we have slipped these chains should bring you hope. Nothing more. Please enjoy, feast. And they begin to serve. Most of the crowd you can see does calm down. There are still a few nervous glances, but one look back to the door tells you that yeah, it tells you why no one's running for it.
Is it closed?
It's a blockade of
As several more
Assholes.
of these individuals have filed in. But they pass out what seems to be actually very nice food.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend there immediately begins digging in.
Mm-hmm. Lesla's going to wait about 30 seconds to a minute before she actually starts eating, watching Melody.
She seems fine.
Alright. Seeing that Lesla will
You can see there are a few nervous glances around the room who are doing the same.
will the way that she has the mask so that she could still eat without revealing her whole face is that there's like a cloth that covers the top part of her face once she removes the mask, and she's going to start eating.
The other members aren't mingling; they're just standing there.
Yeah, these ones are all sitting down up here. These ones are standing kind of at attention, just blocking off the door.
Lord Aram, says it's not Corvus, disguised as Lord Aram, is looking at the skeletal soldiers and almost like examining their work ethic, and nodding slightly.
For skeletal undead, they're very efficient.
Yeah, just
They managed not to drop any of the big trays of food, which is impressive.
Corvus hates undead. Lord Aram, however, is a stingy man that would like to save on labor.
I'm not fully certain like the laws of undeath and silver marches, but I'm pretty sure it's
Dwarves? No.
Dwarves.
Yeah, no, the dwarves do not tolerate it. Not in the slightest.
Especially considering I think one of the more prominent noble houses known for killing vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So undeath is she probably doesn't care one way or the other about it because it's just magic to her. But you know, the laws say no undeath. Which is probably one of the reasons I didn't make her a necromancer. Let's be honest.
Yeah, really, Waterdeep doesn't care if you practice it as long as it's in the confines of your own home. Having skeletons openly walk the street, not okay.
Which also this means that they had to acquire
the skeletons.
Which
necromancy itself is not illegal, but the unceremonious grave robbing of skeletons and bodies is.
Yes.
Look, are these clean skeletons or these kind of dirty skeletons?
They've been cleaned. Like, you can tell that whatever flesh was on them was deliberately removed.
Yeah.
Which is
Also,
probably
it's
why
not.
you didn't
It's
smell
not.
anything.
It's not a grisly sight. Then.
Yeah.
Very
No,
sanitary.
you can guess why you probably didn't smell anything before.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, people gradually begin to eat. Sapphire, this fellow in front of you does not.
Honestly, Sapphire isn't either. She doesn't feel like taking off her mask,
Just,
which is the only thing that's covering her face is the mask over
Mhm.
her mouth. So like,
you kind of look off. I didn't think this one through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did.
I know you did. It's the idea of like, yeah, I can't take my mask off because rules of Liar's Night.
Mhm.
I don't take the mask off until you return home.
Mhm. It's really
and
funny.
Sapphire.
At this point, it's about 11 o'clock,
Yeah,
or a little after now, actually.
Oh no, we gotta get home before the fucking candles go out.
So we got good candles. We
yeah.
got good quality candles.
Good quality
That's-
candles.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really funny because Rume and Shadow both know that I have characters that wear masks that just don't take them off.
Mush.
Yes, Sapphire probably made sure to eat a decent dinner before coming
Yeah,
out.
you can
so.
see there are a few people who are echoing this sentiment. Your friend here is just devouring her food.
Mhm.
Just
Unhinged
jaw.
like a snake.
Probably.
If you've seen Dragon Ball Z and you've watched Goku eat, it is that.
Uh-huh.
That is
Ah.
what you are witnessing.
It probably
Are we
also taking the
reaching
food from the person to the
Scooby-Doo
nose.
levels of jaw
If
unhingement?
they're not eating, then yes.
We're reaching Scooby-Doo levels of jaw unhingement.
Lesla's eating is much more. Actually, no, it wouldn't be as refined as she usually eats. She would be basically digging in as quickly as possible. Because
These
she's.
individuals finally sit down and they begin to eat as well. This fellow, he just stands in the room, kind of observing everything. Just stands there. As all the skeletal undead kind of stop like right here and right here, forming kind of like an attention line.
Mhm.
Like they're standing like they're standing at attention.
So
like
they're
a
going for
military parade.
like over here and over
No,
here.
just like this specific area and this specific area.
Yeah.
So like 3 squares, 3 squares.
Okay.
They're all kind of filed in there in formation like a military parade. And they just stand there as he sort of watches and sort of uneasy atmosphere falls over the room.
I wonder why.
And this goes on for quite some time, although you can see the cultists here eat. And in fact, even the ones back here have been given something to eat. That they slowly do, although still standing there, they do begin to eat what they're given.
Of course, just from his position, like he looks to the gentleman, and, like sort of like does a quiet toast to all of them. Like especially we'll look at this man here, his drink. Just give him like
Which one?
a cheer. One especially. One at the top. Ping guy. Pinging.
The
Yeah.
big guy at top.
The
Yeah.
He'll look
main-
towards him
main
like,
guy.
after he gets his drink, and he'll just give that thing of like a quiet cheers to him.
He notices and he gives you a warm smile and a nod before returning to just overlooking.
As he looks away, no longer facing him, cheese. You see that like, cheese would probably notice this like, itch in the mouth, like a, eat that guy. Fuck this guy.
But
Yeah, I love
sit
that.
there and eat quietly for actually a long time. Finally, after you probably say it's been about 45 minutes of just being allowed to do this and nothing else.
Jesus. Plates.
Finally,
So is the guy? I'm sorry. Is the guy in front of me just staring at his food and then staring at me, or is it
no,
like?
he's
is that,
not really. He's just kind of staring at the table,
Okay.
still continuing to mutter something.
How is he's doing Naruto like jujitsu hand signs, and you don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
He isn't doing that. You can see though he does occasionally like wring his hands and clasp them or fold his arms.
And he's
Does
uncomfortable.
Does it seem like he's trying to keep himself in control of something, or like?
He
Can I
looks like
get
nervous.
more of? Can I insight him?
It seems meditative, but that's all you can really tell.
Okay, and if I insight, I get more or no?
Not really.
Okay.
It's a habit. It's a habit
But
he
again,
probably has.
after about 45 minutes, this individual at the top, he claps his hands together. I thank you all for coming. Once again, you have my most sincere and heartfelt gratitude. It is my deepest hope and desire that this can be a new home for all of us who seek a better life, a better world, and tomorrow. Given the spirit of hospitality, the end of the Liar's Night, I invite all of you to remove your masks. Let this be your new home, your new family amongst brothers and sisters. And you actually see all of the ones up here and all the ones down here remove their masks, revealing quite a varied group. There's humans, elves. You can actually see a dwarf down here, but that was pretty obvious considering his height
Yeah,
and build.
like either a dwarf
But
or a
there are-
very short man.
There are drow, there's pretty much you name it, and it's up there. Well, there aren't really halflings and gnomes serving as bodyguards down here, but there is a gnome up here.
He has to stand in his chair. Oh,
Yes, he does.
He's got a booster seat.
no boosters.
It's actually 3 books.
But
Yeah.
it's quite a diverse group. All races, all ages. And most of the people here begin to follow suit.
Lessla, seeing the kind of the tone of the room, will try and be one of the first people that removes the last bit of her mask.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. Like sort of a everyone else doing it. I will stand, and actually, let's do this. Hope he won't say that.
Oh, no.
Just stands up, and is it a stand-up thing, or do you have to just keep thing?
I think it's
So
just a take off your
Oh, it's
mask.
just remove the masks. Some of them are
Reaches
placing on the table, others are dropping it at their feet.
others. Grabs his mask and reaches it, and you expect to see Corvus's scarred, like heavy eyelid and face is almost anathema to that. There's no scar, clearly being expertly concealed by masters of the craft. No bags under the eyes, and the eyes, instead of looking heavy lid, look brighter and more alert. And again, sort of, it's basically, it does not look like Corvus's face. You have to really be looking closely to identify as Corvus's face. He puts his mask down in front of him. Not that he keeps holding it in his hand, but in the room.
What percentage of the room is taking off their mask?
90.
90, okay. Shit.
I'm glad
Uh,
Sapphire would have like renewed her disguised self before even coming
Because you had
in.
luckily you had the mask and stuff, so you can literally just change your face to anything.
mhm. Cheese will take off the sort of, it's not even a true mask. It's almost as if it has been like glued to her face. But she takes it off, and underneath, I mean, her face is Jesus' face. But it has been very carefully, like she has on very beautiful eyeliner that accentuates the shape of her eyes. But she is doing her best to keep her eyes closed as much as she can, or look away from people.
It's like
Avoid eye contact.
the shyness, kind of like the hand of the man next to you, kind of just stroking your hair a little bit, like, oh.
If she
What
had
is
a little fan, she'd be waving it.
The guy in front of me doesn't have a mask, does he? Or does he
He
actually take it
doesn't,
off?
but he removes the cowl. You can see it goes up and over the horns.
Mm-hmm. Sapphire will, remove her hood. And even in her disguised self, she decided to stay a half-elf. But her facial features seem a bit more androgynous than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And she, again, just put her finger under the mask by her nose and just lower it. So it's now around her neck.
For those of you who do not see fit to trust us as of yet, you are free to leave at any time you wish. When the time comes for you to join us once again, we will welcome you with open arms. But if you are not ready, there is no shame. You may go until the time arrives. And with that, these individuals down here actually move to open
Part
the
the Red
doors.
Sea.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the remaining 10%, even a few of the ones who did take off their masks, do take the opportunity to leave.
Mhm.
And after a few minutes, when they've all left, he looks around the room. Is there no one else who wishes to abandon now?
This is when we all get the mark of the absolute.
And he's
All right, everybody lined up for their brand.
Hang on, quick
And
question:
he smiles.
what floor are we on in this warehouse? Is it
So-
possible to jump out this
Yes.
window if necessary?
Yes,
The
absolutely.
first floor.
Absolutely.
First
But
floor.
he smiles broadly. Excellent. I welcome you all to our family. Those of you who have chosen to stay, be prepared to embark upon the first step in your great journey. Now, bear witness to the truth of this world, the forgotten powers, those that shall rise again and rule as our masters, divinely above all, with us as their heralds. And you begin to see.
I have to actually ask a question, Shaq, 'cause I just realized something. Does this guy's voice sound familiar to me?
No.
Okay, thank you.
But in the center of the room, you begin to see.
Circle of Death.
Not really, but there is a image that is being like illusory projected for everyone to see, and rising up in the center is a massive red great worm.
Fun.
Do I recognize this because great worms were well recorded?
Especially if it's the one we're thinking it is.
Yes, it is.
Matches the
Yippee!
image of the dragon in the
Mhm.
fictions. Gotcha.
Well, that's lovely.
Looking
Not
around, just like
horrifying
existing.
at all.
There's a reason why there's not an image of there, because there's
Yeah.
not an image of him that does not show him on a throne surrounded by subjects.
Show us the fucking pimp! Show us the pimp, Shadow! Go from there! Howard!
Howard.
My leg there.
Da-da-da. Oh, well.
Well, you put it on the token layer.
Yep, I know.
You don't want to throw it on the map layer.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Yep, that's still...
It's not great.
No, it doesn't.
Good. I had to zoom in a little bit. But
The tiny scepter.
yeah,
I'm
he's a
trying
king.
to... There we go.
So
There
tiny
we go.
scepter. It's taller than a person.
Okay, I get that, but it looks tiny
Yeah.
on him with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course it does.
Hail to the king.
Yep.
Buggers.
Ooh, God.
Do what you like, but that's some pretty good decorum on that room.
Well, yeah, the image of the worm stands tall and proud and looks over the entire room. Welcome, my subjects.
Corvus, realizing this may be a important figure in his disguise, lowers himself a little, not prostrates, but like lowers, because he's still seated. Lowers his head and like reverence the dragon.
The time for ascension draws ever closer. The time for the return of the worms is nigh. Those who herald our return shall be rewarded, and those that stand against the tide shall fall. All that was corrupt and greedy and foul burned away in crimson fire. And with that, a gout of flame breath shoots across the room, impacting the wall up here in a brilliant display. Lessla, you're impressed. This is a very, very accurate depiction of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Almost to such that you might think whoever is doing this has seen one in person and studied it. Those who have the strength to stand at the forefront of the tide shall be rewarded, becoming masters of the new order. Riches, power, all will be yours. All will be given freely. All you must do is prove your worth. And with that, the image fades.
Uh-oh.
And the fellow at the front. Now you bear witness to our glorious Lord. The great red worm has returned and awakened. The divine original intention of the dragon cult realized in full. And you stand ready to have a seat at the table. Just as our great Lord has said, unimaginable power, wealth, the might and glory of dragons' hordes are ours for the taking. Do you not understand the might behind such relics? Why do you think the Defiler Corpse still exists with their great power? And all of that will be given unto the worthy, who stand ready to receive. And you can see that most of the people around here are starting to nod along with this.
Yay, cults!
I love cults. So fascinating.
Yay!
I mean,
Your struggles, your strife, your forgive my candor, meaningless, sorrowful existence at an end, to ascend to something grander, something not even the fools sitting on the council, the masked nor open lords, who ignore your plights and pleas, could ever fathom. Do you stand ready to receive? After a moment, one individual stands up, declaring that, yeah, he stands ready. And the rest of the room begins to follow his lead.
That's-
Yeah, that's like the first one, and then it's becoming more a chain.
yeah.
What's this guy's vibe right now with this?
He's paying attention to everyone else.
Okay, so basically exactly what Sapphire's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Lessla will.
Once most of them have stood up, he will do the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lessla would have been one of the first. Once more.
Yeah,
Okay.
following.
About the early middle, of course.
Okay.
Sapphire
She's
probably
dancing, but
manages to
Corvus
time
does.
it so that she's at the same time as this guy.
But yeah, once everyone is standing kind of where they were, I see Leslie stepped out in the middle.
I thought you said this guy stepped out. That's why I did.
No, he stood up where he
Okay,
was.
it looked like you drew a line, which is why.
Oh no.
That's
Excellent. Then, for those of you who have made the choice, I welcome you to take on first grand trial.
Yep.
And the skeletons here and here fall to the ground in piles of bones. And Leslie, you can make out the trace of ritual circles. Not all can prove worthy of the embrace of the Great Worm. Those who desire change and a better life must fight for it. Such is the way of the world. Those who are not worthy deserve nothing. Such is not the way of the world, as you well know. The unworthy rule above with an iron fist and send you tumbling back down the stairs with one strike from their boot. Will you prove that you are worthy to rise above them? Those that remain, you shall have glory. And the two circles begin to glow.
Does it get within my detect magic? Oh, I guess it's been.
Yeah.
Well,
They're up here.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Must have been like close to an hour.
Well,
Your challenge shall be not only what comes forth, but also your fellow members at the table. Those who do not survive, your legacy shall not be forgotten, nor your bravery.
seeing
Stand, rise, and fight to claim what is yours. and from the 2 circles emerge 2
Nope!
rising, slimy, shadowy, icky tendrils that begin to writhe and lash.
My wife came in, so I couldn't say it, but as soon as they started glowing, Lessa was summoning her familiar.
Okay.
No, there. Combat is essentially beginning. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
But yeah. I'd say roll for initiative.
yeah.
But it's getting kind of late,
Holy shit.
Ah,
so I'm gonna land on a cliffhanger there.
All right.
Marin, I fucking called it.
Wait, I called it too. Fuck you.
I'm-
Ruben was the one that DM'd me. I did not hear you say a word.
I said it earlier. I said we're gonna get in here, and then we're gonna have to call it.
Well, we were in here for quite a while. I specifically said these things are going to be summoned, and then it's going to be a cliffhanger.
Okay. Well,
I did plan for you to have the fight, but it took a lot longer.
it always takes a long.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah, no.
No, it's
I
alright. It's
remember-
my fault mostly.
I remember I planned for a session, right? Turns out that was like 4 sessions worth of material.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Clifford, which
Yeah.
which session was it?
All right, and with that, we'll call it here for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are, and remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the future. And if you support our channel or our artists, please view the links down in the description below.